happening, guys? Ryan here with Texsource. Going to shoot a video today, mainly just personally because I want some sleeve prints on my new garments I just bought. So we're going to try and print some reflective ink onto a sleeve print. You can see my reflective here. This is by International Coatings. It's called Optilux Reflective. It almost looks like a silver shimmer. It's got really fine flakes in it. But what you do when printing with reflective, what it's good for is for, you know, if you see runners on the side of the road running at night, when a high beam shines on the garment, it reflects back. Police officers, fire department, they have the reflective. That's some of the parts where you can print reflective for those departments. So, but today I'm going to use, so what you want to do is use a coupler that you mix into the reflective ink. This is what causes it to bind to the shirt, and for the beads, which was the beads is what reflects off the bright light. So you would mix 20 grams of ink to 1 gram of coupler. You don't want to mix this whole bucket at once with the coupler because one is it's expensive, and if you're not going to print the whole mixture, then it's going to go to waste. Once you mix this coupler, you have about an 8 to 12 hour pot life. Once that's over, this whole ink will harden in the bucket. So you only want to mix what you're going to print. So yeah, we will go and do this mixture now. And you can see this is really liquidy. So be careful when pouring it out. We're going to mix, we'll try and get 60 grams exactly. Always remember to tare when you put the bucket on and when you're adding other catalysts or pigments or whatever you're mixing. I forget to tare it all the time, so. And again, you can see this ink here. It's almost like a silver shimmer. A little bit thinner of a consistency than silver shimmer or a glitter ink. So we're going to see how well I can pour this in. Oh, way over. All right. 96 grams. So 1 gram of coupler per 20. So we're going to call this about 4.5. Or maybe 4 3/4, because every 20 grams, I'm at 100 grams. So 20 divided by 100 gives you 5. A little bit under that. So I'm going to do 4. All right, once you mix it, or once you pour the coupler in, just give it a good mix. Again, reflective ink, basically what it's composed of, it looks like a silver shimmer, but it's composed of beads. And what these beads do is they sit on top of the fabric, and when the light or whatever of a bright beam of light hits those beads is what will give it a reflective look to it. Now when printing this, we're going to print it through a 110 mesh. I'm going to print a sleeve print. I'm going to hold it through the neckline. If you guys are familiar, it's easiest to best to hold it collar to collar to be able to load the sleeve. All right. Again, I'm printing this through a 110 mesh. You can print this through a 160 if you wanted to as well. But the higher you go, remember the glass beads need to pass through the mesh, so the higher you go, it's not going to have as much reflection. So you can see it's covering pretty well. That's a one hit, straight onto a dark garment. I mean, that looks great. No underbase, and no underbase is ever needed when printing reflective. But you can print this reflective, but you're not going to gain more of a reflective because you can't really stack more beads on top of each other. And when I mean by beads, the beads are inside this reflective, and that's what causes when the light hits the reflective, or the beads, is what gives you that glow. So you can't really stack more beads on top of each other. So this is why it's mainly just a one-hit print, and it covers gray on dark garments through a 110 mesh.